Now for the longest, I'll be real, I have not been down with the idea of breaking up the New Day for one reason or another, whether it be because the faction themselves don't want to go ahead and go separate ways, starting feuds with each other, the whole 9 yards, or whether it be because, well, booking, and after you have a feud, where do you go on from there? Especially back when Vince McMahon was still around. But I wanted to go ahead and ask the question, is there a way you could have the New Day get broken up? But before we get into that, don't forget, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Keep it way over on the socials, on the Twitch even. Hey, sometimes we go ahead and record videos live on there. We got some wrestling variety on the main YouTube channel and on the Twitch as well. And yeah, let's get into the video. Now, should we have the New Day meet their end thanks to Karrion Kross? No, they should not. But is there a way to have the New Day break up in general? Now, there's been time and time again where you'll hear people talk about how they would book the ending of the New Day, having Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston come to blows so we could potentially see the New Day face against one another. But then in comes the big issue, is what do we do after the fact? When it comes to the New Day, one thing should be kept in mind. The most important thing is that these guys aren't BSing you when they tell you that they are friends with one another. When these guys tell you that they are effectively like a family. And yes, families could have their fights in here and there, but at the same time, the danger with breaking up the New Day in the traditional sense is what happens when we break them up. What happens after they're done feuding. Especially when we don't have but so much time to allocate to but so many stories. Who gets that time after we break up these two? What feuds are they going to go into? There's a danger that you can end up with these guys just kind of floundering about in the mid-card division, floundering about doing next to nothing, and to try and just casually throw them back into being a tag team feels like a risky option to do, a risky thing to try. But let me take you back into some already proven history and tell you the right way to actually break the New Day up. In quotations. Because technically speaking, the right way to break the New Day up is by not actually breaking them up at all. Now, if you have your friend group, for example, and y'all are tight as tight can be, nothing can make you guys break up, nothing can make you guys turn on each other, go each other's throats, there's still the fact that at the end of the day, multiple people are going to wind up wanting multiple things in their own lives. That doesn't mean that they have to end up going, you know what, I don't want to be around you no more, we ain't cool, we ain't friends no more. That doesn't mean you have to end up and feud with each other. You know what, we've already actually done this with the New Day. Some of the New Day's key moments you could put into two separate sections. Stuff they've done as a team, all the tag team titles that they've won together, the comedic moments, the promos, the segments that they've had with each other, and the other side of what is the other side of things? Allow me to jog your memory. Do you remember when Big E won the Money in the Bank contract and then a couple months later won the world title off of Bobby Lashley? He did that on his own as a single competitor, separate from the New Day. But at the end of the day, even though he was separate from the rest of the crew, he was still New Day at the end of the day. Xavier wasn't tag teaming with Kofi or with Big E when he became the king of the ring. And allow me to remind y'all to all hail King Woods. Yes, I know I'm technically grammatically incorrect, but who cares? All hail King Woods. And need I remind you of what happened in 2019? And if you don't, we've probably had arguably one of the biggest moments involving the faction when they technically weren't even functioning as a faction, with one of their members going off and doing their own thing at WrestleMania to win a singles title. So we're friends. That is one thing I think people don't really think about. In the real proper way we should quote unquote break up the New Day is not by having them break up at all. Just have them go separate ways. And on top of that, it can make moments where they go ahead and come back together. Xavier, say he goes off and does his own thing, or maybe you can even have a story where instead of, oh, Xavier turns on Kofi, or Kofi turns on Xavier, or Biggie comes back and turns on the both of them, you can have this thing where, hey, Kofi starts going, yo, I'm gonna be wrestling for but so much longer. I want you to win the big one. I still want you to be the man. I still want you kind of taking a little bit of note from what Karrion has been saying, I don't want you to feel like I'm either dragging your career down, or even if you don't feel that way, I don't want to potentially drag your career down. I have won the world title. E has won the world title. We gotta get you the world title next. You can go ahead and have Woods become a singles competitor, but at the end of the day, the New Day are still a thing. Even if they aren't actively competing together, even if they aren't actively as a tag team, it is still a wise decision. Cause say, for example, you kind of have nothing for Woods or Kofi, and you need somebody to be in a tag team feud. You can need them back together. There's no issue because, hey, we're keeping our continuity, which is something that Triple H's era has done pretty well. It's keeping continuity, and they can just come back together as a tag team. Say you think of, ooh, this is a really good tag team feud for the New Day, or a dream match for the New Day. Why keep it as a dream? Say, maybe we're sitting here going back and forth, not knowing where Big E will return, or if Big E will return. Whether or not this stem cell surgery he is looking for, don't know whether it's surgery or not. The whole stem cell thing Big E is looking into is going to be successful enough to make him healthy enough to compete in the ring. Or if he would want that, and if he doesn't, then you can keep going on doing whatever. If he does, and you want to go ahead and have a New Day storyline where they all get back together and face off as a faction once more, guess what? You can do that. Or even if you want to go ahead and have this whole storyline that I just proposed, where Kofi starts kind of being like a manager to Woods, and eventually it leads to, at WrestleMania 41 or 42 even, you can have this be a long-going storyline for like 2026, where Xavier could eventually become the WWE or Universal Champion. And you may not quite see it at the moment, but at the same time, all it takes is one really good storyline for you to believe it's somebody. All it really takes. And just like that, we could have not only the New Day doing their own things, Woods could be off doing his own thing, Kofi can either be like a manager or could even be doing his own separate thing. You can bring them back together if you ever need to. And if you want to have a potential Kofi versus Xavier match, or if Big E comes back and you ever want to have a triple threat, you can come up with an excuse. Say, for example, they both or all members end up in a tournament or the world championship, say, gets vacated. Say it's for an opportunity, maybe it's for a ladder match or a rumble, and they all end up as the final competitors. Or there's a bunch of different ways you could have it where it's still, hey, we're still friends, but at the end of the day, we are competitors at the moment. When the bell rings, we aren't the New Day. We are at heart, but we aren't as this match is going. And as the bell ends, we're going to be friends again. Even if we have to swallow the bitter pill? I can't speak sometimes. The bitter pill of defeat. Hey, I'll have my day again. Or I'll have my day eventually. But you keep going on. Like how real life friends would. Not fake friends like you would have here and there, but real, true, to the heart, straight up, genuine best friends, which these guys have been for nearly a decade. And to have Karrion Kross be the one to have them break up and just have some silly old feud and then, let's be real, get lost in the shuffle is a god-awful idea. Should we break them up that way? Fuck no. Should we have them break up? Should we have them break them up in general? We could. We should. Just as long as it's not actually breaking. I don't know. Let me know y'all thoughts down in the comments below. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Keep the boy on the Twitch as well, because I forgot to say that earlier on the socials. And yeah, see ya.